Come through, fam. We quarantined and we chill. Got a bit of an emergency live stream. Aye, man, a bit of an emergency here. So I hope you're all well. Who's in here? We only got Dark Claw. First one here. Gob Life. You're welcome. So yeah, thanks for coming in, Dark Claw. Yeah, a bit of a emergency live broadcast. Gonna watch a few videos. We've got our friend here, Ping Pong Flicks, Mr. Chris Wong. We've got Mad Max Mandalorian. Let's see what he's been talking about. And then we've got Fatal J. He's going live in 25 minutes. So it's all because of this. So our boy Jay, Doughboy91, he's a follower of mine, says, I wonder if anyone else can weigh in on this to confirm or deny that a screening of Justice League happened with Zack Snyder and AT&T Warner Media. This is some big shizzles right here, right? And you've got Heroic Hollywood. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut may get released after all. Oh. And so Jay, you know that tweet, he replied, and then Sean O'Connell, he's like, I can confirm this. So I don't know if Sean, I mean, I know Sean's writing the book that's kind of based on the entire, the movement from start to finish, hopefully. Dan Jordan, that's what we're going to find out. Have we missed any info about the Snyder Cut? What's happening with the Snyder Cut? So Sean O'Connell says, I can confirm this. Interesting. And then, we've got Ignore Signore, so we're just going to ignore him. Right, there he is. Blah, blah, blah. John Doe, he's like, Andy, sorry, but you failed hard. I read what you said to Snyder fans on Twitter before releasing your exclusive. You laughed to all of us. You laughed to all of us. McDee's here. Jeffrey's here. Too sweet. Go on, Jeffrey. Meg. So it's interesting. Thanks, Sean. Solid, says Jeff Purdy. Sean O'Connell says get out of the way. It's Umberto's scoop. We just hear the same things. Follow El Mayimbe. He's a goat. Let's try and follow El Mayimbe. Oh, he's blocked us. Never mind. Who's it? Who's coming in? Let's have a look. Quantum Surge. It should be called The Real One. Yes. The bell cannot be unrung. He is coming and he is hungry. Jose M says, Peter MCU Shell Retta hates DC with a effing passion. We need to see that image of Shelletta holding Thor's hammer like an incel. I think we can find it. I think it's Google. I'm sure I found it on Google Images because it can't be that hard. Let's see. Peter Sheretta. Sorry about this, guys. We'll get back on the news at some point. Where are they? There he is. Oh my god. Look at this fanboy. Scumbag. Anyway. So yeah, Fatal J is going live in about 20 minutes. I might join him. Ask him if he, let me just leave a message. I'm live 2, maybe I can join yours. So let's see what Mr. J says. So this is Umberto's blocked me. Oh well. But this is some big news. And now, ignore Signor. We have to mention him. Can you also please confirm that WB didn't like it and doesn't want it? So Snyder cultists will get off his ass labeling me a liar. If more outlets report it, it's harder to deny, and we can put this dumb thing to bed. Shut up. So we'll close. Let's see what Ping Pong Flex has to say. Let me get my headphones on. Wait a minute. I just want to let you guys know that I'm back in my main room, got the new carpet and everything, but still a lot of work to be done. So you might not see me on screen for quite some time. Let's see what Mr. Ping Pong Flex has to say.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Ping Pong Flicks episode. No. Maybe this is like an add-on to last night's video.
I don't think you guys can hear it.
This is huge, and I want to get this in before our live chat Saturday. Umberto Gonzalez tweeted this out this morning, a YouTube video. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut may get released after all. Umberto Gonzalez, Mr. It's a Pipe Dream.
So I see he's not blocked Chris, but he's blocked me.
Dream Gonzalez, Scoopy Pants, says Zack Snyder's Justice League cut may get released after all. This is great. This is great. This is that now. We've kind of known this a while now, but it's great to hear the naysayers come out. It's great to hear that other people outside the rim of our fandom kind of starting to hear things now. They're finally hearing things now. This is great to get people like Umberto Gonzalez, who says this is a pipe dream. This movie never existed. Now it's like, may get released after all. Now, the video is very elongated. It's over 10 minutes of, just a lot of fluff in there, but mainly you have to know that there was a meeting. There was, well, more than a meeting. There was actual screening. It was Zack Snyder's Justice League was screened to Warner Brothers in DC and, AT&T, depending on who you're talking to, that on a certain day, right? And so we've teased about this before, but before we get into that, I want to say that even Umberto Gonzalez, a naysayer, saying that something's happening. Batman on film, Bill Raymond, Jet, who was fighting that didn't exist and all these things for so many years, is trying to stay ahead of it as well. The dude that fought with Jay Oliva on Twitter, yeah, he said desperate times where Warner Brother call for desperate measures, apparently. And I think he's kind of being very snarky about it, but saying that in a sense, they really need some more content for HBO Max, and they're willing to give a Snyder Cut a shot, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, Sean O'Connell does confirm this. He even confirms what he meant about the February 6th thing. Zack Snyder reportedly screened his Snyder Cut of Justice League. What does that mean? And he goes into that detail that
what does it say? It seems like a recent screening of the film could lead to a wider release. Heroic Hollywood has exclusively learned and confirmed that Zack Snyder held a private screening of his cut of Justice League in the first quarter of this year, with executives from DC in attendance. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, something is happening with Snyder's cut of the film, and discussions are currently underway. So I think there were rumours. We were talking about these kind of things, or I was hearing these kind of things. I'm sure you guys were as well. So it's like, but now it's being talked about by the blogs, right, the websites. So, I don't know. So let's carry on. Let's see what Chris says.
Umberto Gonzalez put it on his video. It seems like your way, and so Sean O'Connell continues to confirm that this screening did take place on Thursday, February 6th. Remember his tweet? Remember the 6th of February? No details emerged about what came to the screenings, but reports confirmed it happened, right? Now, later on in this, I want to talk about later on, but just to show you some other people saying, Andy Signor says,
Ignore.
Bleeding something, I forgot, but these deniers are coming out. They're coming out. They're trying to stay ahead of the game. They're trying to say, well, I was in the boat too. I knew this. I knew that. Well, you ain't no shit. But John Aaron says this: I can confirm certain Warner Brother execs didn't like it, and they've all been removed from positions of power who are now bitter at what's taking place. AT&T execs, on the other hand, they loved it enough to approve funding. So anything Warner Brother execs say is obsolete and has no bearing anymore. As you know, the hierarchy of power, I've been talking about this so many. AT&T bought out Warner Brothers. They created Warner Media Group, which created Warner Max, which is making content or putting content on HBO Max. Warner Brothers over here on this side. So yes, that is indeed very much true. Shiraz even says something about this. Any positive news made public on jail is always good, but important takeaways. Those who vehemently thought the SC had no shot are slowly shifting stances for a reason. Difference between screening Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2020 versus 2017 is that AT&T is the new game in town. That's a good thing. So be aware of these certain news. Stephen Colbert, I think that thing that's important to note here is that this particular news is not new. What is new is that certain people are starting to change their tune. Stay patient. What is happening now is what has been happening for months. And just to further elaborate on how it's probably more likely moving forward, because after the February 6th screening, so on February 29th, weeks after reported screening on the 6th, Snyder gave this film slate as a prize. In his Justice League poster competition, the slate promised permission to the winner artist Victor Koo, Mighty Pegasus, to be on set for any additional photography that Snyder might need to complete Justice League. He promises that after screening his cut for executives, aren't we safe to conclude they agreed on footage being needed and Snyder planning on completing it, which goes back to John Ara's take on this. I can confirm certain W execs didn't like it, but they loved it enough to approve funding, so that Zack Snyder says, all right, it's approved. Here's the slate. We're going to have some additional photography. Hopefully after all this COVID-19 is done, and then we'll get ready to go. But things are moving ahead, very much moving ahead, and it is very much so that even people are finally starting to notice. The naysayers, the people are changing their tune. This is fantastic. This is fabulous. Yes, it has been happening for a while, but it's great to hear that people are changing their tune to this. Yeah, something is definitely happening. So this is a great news indeed. At least confirmations about a screening that has happened, and it seems like even more so it's moving forward. So in light of this news, I want to share this, Nerd Queens. Let's come together.
Alright, okay, so click like, because you know Chris is right. Let's see, it's all coming from Umberto Gonzalez and Sean O'Connell verifying it. So yeah, what else can we do? We can watch, we can watch, I've not seen this video. It's Mad Max Mandalorian. Give him a like.
Delivering pizza. Hell yeah! This is a car video I want to see a YouTuber hitting the streets, bringing home the bacon, delivering bacon, and getting mad as all hell. A Mad Matt reaction. Matt, I think you're back, bro. I think you're back, and you need to get mad in the car and show us what you're serving. Now, all right.
Snyder Cut is grade A dog.
No car vlog.
I'm doing.
So
I'm doing fine
right now, and
I
I'm getting
was.
tweeted at a lot today about this whole new development.
New development?
Movement on the Snyder Cut.
Okay.
What's going on? What's happening? Where do we stand? What's going on?
I know where I stand.
Well, apparently it's kind of like this from what I can gather.
All
A
right.
few months ago, Q1 2020, Snyder actually screened a cut
Okay.
of Justice League for Warner Brothers executives. Now, this is where the story gets.
Oh, but wait a second.
murky,
How do you
because
screen?
I honestly can't.
How do you screen something that doesn't exist? How do you screen something that doesn't exist? They didn't just hand them a Blu-ray and put it in the player. How do you screen something that doesn't exist?
Exactly.
All you deniers are full of dog. Okay? All right, let's see what else Matt's got to say.
Gimps
Tell
and
you
lamers.
what to believe. Multiple people are saying multiple things, and at this point, I don't know, and I don't want to sit there and look. There's people out there that I wouldn't mind kind of sticking a bit of a fork in and going, "Hey, you're done talking about."
I know those people.
You
I know
a whole d-bag, but at
Blandy?
the same time, I'm also I can't say that. I don't think the
we can. I'll
journalistic
say
integrity part of my brain would allow me to do that. So I have to.
I will say it. I will say it because the fact that it was the screen that a screening took place, that you're getting it on both sides of the argument, it does mean they're full of dog themselves. That whole corner of BS. Okay, let's see what else he's got to say.
Advocate, you guys are gonna have to bear with me on this one. So essentially, it's like this from what I can gather. There was the screening. Some Warner Brother executives called it absolute dog crap, and it would never, ever, 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 ever see the light of day. And that is something that does kind of feel in line with the brass at Warner Brothers. It does. Those people have been actively campaigning.
That also could be. It could also be a negotiation tactic to just say it's not worth it to try, because there's been on numerous reports on both sides that Zack wants a little bit of money to put the polish on it, 20 million. So it doesn't hurt them at all to say it, even if it's not true. Hey, you want to know the reality, how harsh Hollywood is? They'll say whatever they want to get what they want. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Well, let's see what else he has to say.
Aiming against Snyder for a very long time. They have been doing everything they can to push him out, because the leadership at DC Films is terrible. Under Kevin Tsuchihara, they screwed Zack Snyder multiple times. This is known. This is absolutely fact. But really, there's not a lot going on with HBO Max right now, and they need a big win. They need a big, bold, this is coming to HBO Max headline that people are going to lose their crap over, right? That you're going to find a whole bunch of fanboy panties drenched with this kind of news. And that could be the Snyder Cut. We've been saying that for a long time, that it would be the best course of action for
now,
them
if it actually
to
happens,
release the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. Now,
when I get to see it, it might happen.
It might happen. The meeting and everything else, there are some people there, like Peter Sciretta, that I haven't seen say the whole story, but is alluded to on Twitter.
Peter Sciretta.
There's more to the story, more in line with what Andy Signor is saying about them saying that the pilot, that the cut was dog crap. That is what Peter Sciretta is kind of hinting at, although not coming outright and saying anything. But after his whole attack on Joker last year, I take everything that dude says with an absolute suppository-sized grain of salt.
Exactly.
We're talking full on.
Well, here's the...
Because you remember, Peter Sciretta is good friends with the Devin Faracis and the Frosty Weintraubs, right? They don't want Zack Snyder to be in the DCEU. They wanted him out. They made all that noise, spread all those lies about, what the fans want and what we, behaving as gatekeepers. So, no, don't care what they have to say.
Here's the issue. A lot of these, on the opposite side of, the anti-shill movement and all those channels that blew up because of it, they do just as much BS. Well, not as much. No, I'll correct that. They do not make 100 videos on the same topic. They do one and they take what they want out of an interview, or take that little piece, and they create just as much hell in the fan. No, not as much. I got to keep correct. They do not create as much hell as the below average Geeks Plus Lamers. They do not create that much hell, but they're just as unreliable in sources on here, sources on this side. You have to go in the middle. You can't believe anyone. This is what I've been saying all. Oh, I have sources. I got a sub count. I don't give a shit. Everyone through intentional leaks and marketing, free marketing. So you
like that, because he is anti-DC in my opinion. He has been for quite some time, and quite frankly,
that was uncalled for.
I don't put a lot of stock.
No, I don't want
to.
Whoa, wait, Matt, that was too graphic.
Even though he did break a couple scoops for, Mandalorian and whatnot, but I honestly don't think that it was him. I think he just took credit. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
They're saying that. Now, another guy is saying that it's exactly the opposite of that, where the people who hated the Snyder Cut, they're no longer at Warner Brothers in any position of power, and they're bitter and they're spreading anti-Snyder propaganda, but that the AT&T executives liked the movie and have secured its funding. Now, that to me feels like a damn pipe dream, if I'm being honest with you. That to me feels one of those elements where you're like, man, I want this to be real. Like, I want this to be true. I want this to be the reality that we find ourselves in. I would love for it, but it's been so long. I'm not ready to go and ring the bell and wave the flag and toot the horn and say, we've won. We've won.
That day will come, Matt. Don't worry. I'll be there.
Right?
Fatal J is in here. Thanks for the $5, Jay. So Gob, you're going to stream 30 minutes before me, huh? Love you, bro. Yes, we love you too, Jay. I can come on your live stream if you like. If you're going to be streaming on what do you call it? StreamYard. Send me a link. I'll join in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Delayed reaction there from Brie Larson. So thank you for that. Where was I?
I will be there for that day.
Can't do that just yet. Let me get a sip of my drink here.
Whoa.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at on the whole subject. I don't know what's going on, but there's movement. As there's always movement. People like to sit there and say, because keep in mind, go back to 2017 when talks of this first started percolating, and there's always,
what was that?
The Snyder Cut doesn't exist. The Snyder Cut doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all, period. You're all just a bunch of loser fanboys if you think it exists. Because remember, they said that for a long time.
This is where, hey,
it exists, but it's
this
not
is where I've had my problem. Closing off walls, not listening, so close-minded against Snyder Cut fans. It's absolutely disgusting, and there will be more on that in another video. Stay tuned. I have spoken with a lot of pro Snyder Cut fans here on YouTube. I plan to more. And yes, it does exist, and I'm sick of being treated a certain way, even when I try to reach out to collab with people that are on the other side of the argument. But more on that later.
In a usable edit, and then they kind of shifted the narrative, and now apparently it exists and it's been screened for Warner Brothers, so it's like,
moving the goalposts. Jeremy, mowing the goalposts.
The media narrative of the last couple of years has shifted so terribly.
Yes.
Or so fundamentally one direction that they are just absolutely they don't know what to do. So they're playing both sides, it feels like. I feel like some people are playing both sides, and some people are financially incentivized to attack it, Andy Signor. 100% financially.
Wait, was that? Wait.
Doing his nonsense. Financially incentivized to attack it, Andy Signor. Incentivized to attack it, Andy Signor.
Okay, that's my source.
100% financially incentivized. Blandy Andy doing his nonsense as usual.
Blandy Andy.
But hey, here's the thing: is a lot of other people have been covering this for years, and they are way more trustworthy than good old Blandy Andy. So you know what? I'm gonna take their word for it, at least more than his at this point in time. But because Scaretta has said something, maybe there's a bit more weight to it. I just want to be. I'll be fair on that front. While I may not like the news, I'll be willing to at least grant it some some semblance of possible reality because it does come in from a person who, ideologically speaking, would be absolutely against Andy Signor 100%. So that's something you got to look at there too. But in the meantime, I don't know where any of this goes.
It's going towards
Now
the
we
release
just
of
need
the
to wait and
Snyder
see. But
Cut.
I want to hear your thoughts on this.
I
wanna hear
will.
your
I'm
opinions
sharing
on
them
this
right
one.
now,
What
right
do you
in real
think
time.
is going
Matt.
on in the
I
world
know.
of the Snyder Cut? Is it coming?
Yes.
Is Warner Brothers involved? Is AT&T looking at this now, going like, "Hey, it's a cash cow. We can milk this mofo."
Yes.
Because we need it. Because we're
Just
kinda
for
hurt.
financial
Honestly,
reasons,
you know,
it
my
should
honest
go.
opinion, the pandemic and the lack of original content, really a lot of good original content for HBO Max at its launch, is
Yeah.
one of the things that's heavily fueling this.
Yes.
If these sequences of events didn't happen, I don't think we'd be anywhere near this level in the conversation. But obviously, Zach is good at
helps.
playing the game. He knows how to wait. He knows how to bide his time. He's been doing that. He's been building a massive Snyder army on the internet of fans who are dedicated to seeing his vision come to light. And I think now it's it's moving. And like I keep saying to people, there's so much smoke. There's so much smoke.
Who is this? DJAF. Thank you for your $2.99. Been a fan since the BVS days, bro. Love watching. Thank you, DJAF. So that was a video from Mad Max Mandalorian, aka Geeks and Gamers Entertainment. And we're gonna once I get my full streaming setup back, we'll bring Mad Max onto our live show. Yeah, the Collision Talk. It will return. And who was that dog barking? Where did that come from? Okay, let's close this down.
Oh, hey!
Oh, there he is.
I didn't know I was live. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, you can make what you want to make, okay? What is up, everybody? It's your boy Fatal J, back, and I'm live.
Back like
I'm
he left something.
live, and there's 19 people up in the chat. Smash that like button. I said smash that like button. Say what? Smash that like button. I'm glad that y'all here. I'm glad that you're here. Because in this live stream right here, we're supposed to bring the DC and the Snyder Cut pain because my boy T-Flame, a.k.a. Strong Arm Flicks, my boy Chris Wrong, a.k.a. Ping Pong Flicks. What's up with the Flicks in the last name? They just brought the pain of some breaking news that Zack Snyder privately screened the Snyder Cut for DC in February.
Kia.
Yes, sir. Let's see who up. Before we get busy, let's see who's up in this joint. Got my boy Reese and Danny up in here. DC is always playing games. Yes, they are. According to Christy, with the $2 super chat.
I love these little clips that Fatal J plays. I love it.
Thank you for the super sticker love. I'm telling you, it's gonna get crazy. We gonna have some special guests come up in this piece. I'm talking about some real big special guests. So you ain't gonna want to miss out on what we speaking on, straight up. See who else we got in here. Harrisel Sarsby. Hello, Jay. Having a great day. I'm having an excellent day.
Okay, guys, so what you should do, go over to Fatal J's channel. He's right here. Right here, Fatal J. Go over to his channel, start watching his live stream, and I'm going to close down here. And you might see me on Fatal J's channel. I don't know. If you can send me a link, I'll come in. So thanks for watching. Click like because you know I'm right. Let me know in the comments below. If you care, you can share. Smash that mother effing subscribe button. Release the Snyder Cut.